Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
It is awfully early in the year to be talking about a potential winter storm, but that's exactly what we're doing. The hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
It may be fall technically, but snow trucks could be seen out and about tonight. We'll tell you how road crews are gearing up for this winter weather.
And sending mail may be an invitation for thieves. Don't let your outgoing mail fall into the wrong hands. Coming up.
WKYT News at 5:30 starts now. Good evening to you. You better keep that winter jacket handy. This cold air has settled in for quite some time.
We're tracking another blast of Arctic air along with a chance of snow around the bluegrass. And we begin our team coverage with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He has more on what we're looking at this weekend. Chris?
Yeah, guys, it's been a cold week, especially over the past several days. And now we're rolling into a cold weekend with the potential for winter weather to impact things as we head into Sunday night and Monday. Now, some folks out there still seeing a little winter weather in the form of some flurries or snow showers. It is cold everywhere. 31 in Lexington. We've only hit 32 so far for the high temperature. It's the coldest high temperature ever recorded on this date. Wind chill feels like 27 into Frankfort. How about Somerset? 22 degrees for the wind chill as of now. That's the number to dress for if you're going to be out and about. A little batch of some light snow into parts of eastern Kentucky. There's one more little batch of some flurries and a quick burst of snow showers moving across the Covington-Cincinnati area. That will take aim at southeastern Kentucky. But what I'm tracking for Sunday night into Monday is a developing storm system that is across the Carolinas by the time we hit Sunday night and Monday morning. That'll initially bring a surge of rain into southern and eastern Kentucky that then we'll switch over to some snow as we go into Sunday night and Monday. Accumulation's a good bet. How much snow falls where you live will depend on the exact track of that low. Major cold air will follow. And guys, right on cue with the potential for the first snowfall for many. Hey, we're going to be giving away your official ruler to measure some of that snow with. Hashtag WKYT Rules Winter. That's at Raising Cane's tomorrow from noon until 1. And Hamburg and over off Nicholasville Road as well.
Thank you, Chris. And you mentioned Somerset, Chris. Road crews in southern Kentucky say whether there's a lot or just a little bit of snow, they are ready. Today,
trucks were filled up with salt just in case accumulating snow falls in that area. WKYT's Phil Pendleton continues our team coverage. He was in Pulaski County as winter preparations were being made. It's our top story at 5:30.
It's early in the season.
It was a busy morning at the State Highway Garage in Somerset Friday.
In case we do have an event happen later on this weekend.
Plows were put on and salt spreaders checked.
We've got a lot of salt. We've got our calciums full. We're in good shape. We're ready to go.
Crews will work 12-hour shifts once the snow starts.
We try to get out there and do it for the public. It's tough in different situations, you know. Sometimes they're patient with us, sometimes they're not.
US 27 is considered a priority A route. State officials say the goal is to tackle and have these roadways cleared within a 1 to 4 hour window. Last year, the Pulaski Garage was nearly bare at winter's end. This year, supplies are looking good to start the season, hoping they'll stay that way in the months to come.
This year is going to be a test.
Pulaski is a large county. Sometimes crews face different elements in different parts of the area.
And even in our county, we'll have an ice line and a snow line. So I mean, you know, it's really changing over the seasons.
1,800 tons of salt is on hand to start the season. That's enough for 4 events. Crews realize they will likely have to fill it up several times before spring. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The District 8 office, which is based in Somerset, serves 10 counties. It has more than 18,000 tons of salt and 80 plow trucks ready to go.
Many people are not wasting any time preparing for the colder weather. Businesses are already putting out their winter weather preparation items. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell's braving the cold in Scott County as people get ready for it.
With more cold and the potential for snow approaching the area late this weekend, a lot of folks are going to be headed out trying to prepare for their homes for what may come over the weekend.
The first widespread accumulating snow is possible this weekend. Now, other parts of the country have already picked up several inches of snow. While snow here shouldn't stack up quite like parts of the plains and Midwest, we all know it doesn't take that much for us to run into issues here in the bluegrass.
And with the possibility of snow in the forecast this weekend, a lot of home improvement stores expect an uptick and customers coming in for shovels, salt, and everything winter related.
And just like clockwork, home improvement stores have moved winter weather preparation items into the forefront.
Me personally, I'm adding some insulation to my home. Also, just stocking up on some salt. Also getting a new snow shovel, stuff like that. Plastic for the windows also.
Many folks will be picking up more of these items as the snow begins to fall Sunday night and into Monday.
Little things to help keep my house warm, because it just takes a little small crack, a little a cold air in, a little hot air out. I've done put stuff around my doors and windows to help keep air getting in and out.
It isn't all about the snow. The cold will be an issue we'll face this weekend, and it could get even worse as we head into next week.
And of course, coming up with that snow chance this weekend, WKYT.com will be your home for the latest weather information. I'll be here this weekend updating you alongside maybe Chris Bailey if it gets bad enough. And it certainly has that potential, as he's going to explain throughout the rest of the evening. Back to you guys.
Jim, thank you. And remember, the weather is always on at WKYT.com. You can also get all the latest closings, delays, and weather information on our website.
We now know when a wrongful death lawsuit filed after a school bus collided with a pickup truck head-on will go to trial. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 starts in Lincoln County. According to the Internal Journal, the trial has been set for July 6th. The father of a man who died after the bus crashed in May filed the lawsuit. His son, William Otis Coleman, died after his pickup was hit by that bus. In Floyd County, a dog that was shot in the head is on the road to recovery. Last week, rescuers in Prestonsburg found a German Shepherd severely abused with gunshot wounds to her head and multiple other injuries. Well, today, the Arrow Fund, a nonprofit organization in Louisville that deals with animal cruelty cases, said that the dog's wounds have been covered and there is no infection so far. The group is looking for a foster family for this dog. And in Laurel County, police have some new clues in the search for a robber. London police say a man held up the GameStop on Childers Drive on November 7th. We're told he waited for customers to leave, then used a gun to demand money from employees at the cash register. Police have released this video of the robber. Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest.
Depending on where you live, the checks you put in an outgoing mailbox may not be as safe as you think. Tonight's story is an eye-opener for anyone who lives in large buildings or complexes that contain their own mailrooms.
The subject began stealing personal identifiers and names and dates of birth of individuals who lived in that building.
This video shows a central mail location for many buildings in a large complex.
The residents of that building, the victims, put their checks in an outgoing box, on an unofficial outgoing box supplied by the building.
That is where this crime begins. As you can see in this video, with a simple stick, he can remove mail from the outgoing mail location.
He would steal outgoing checks that residents would send to pay bills. He would cross off the name on the check and divert that check to a credit card that he had opened up using some victim names.
This would create an apparent overage on the credit card. The suspect would then write the credit card company requesting a check for that amount.
And they would send the check to a mail that he controlled.
He was successful. There were 25 victims and over $100,000 in losses.
Identity theft is one of the largest growing crimes in America.
Postal inspectors say we are all vulnerable.
Criminals, the bad guys, are only bound by their imagination. They'll do anything to get our information and use that information to wreak havoc.
There is one important step we can all take to secure our personal information.
When you place your mail in a collection box, you want to make sure it's a postal service box. Those are secured mailboxes. If you're going to put your mail in an unsecured box, potentially you could be victimized.
The suspect in this case was charged with multiple counts of grand larceny and ID theft. He could face 1 to 3 years in prison.
Couples are rushing to the Supreme Court asking them to review bans on gay marriage. Next on WKYT News at 5:30, the details of the appeal filed with the High Court.
I'm Bill Bryant. He calls himself an unlikely vice mayor. Steve Kay talks about how he'll help lead Lexington. And Governor Steve Beshear set to leave on an overseas trip tomorrow. The bottom line is coming up.
And for the first time, we're hearing from the woman who lost her husband and her young son in a wreck in Scott County.
It's the same wreck that caused her to go into labor. We'll introduce you to Jessica Spencer, and we'll show you how you can help her family.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Lexington's new vice mayor will not need much training. He's already up to speed on the position.
And Republicans warn the president to think twice before signing any immigration paperwork. WKYT's Bill Bryant has that and more in the bottom line.
Good evening. Lexington's next vice mayor is ready to go. In fact, Steve Kay already serves on the city council, and he knows the issues well. He's one of my guests on this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers. Kay says his unlikely climb to a powerful position at City Hall really started when he arrived in Lexington from his native New England 40 years ago.
I didn't know if I would stay or go, but obviously I've stayed, and my wife, who's a native Kentuckian, kids me about being, this kind of like a born-again booster for Lexington and Kentucky, but I love it here, and it's true. When I first came through, I thought, this is the Garden of Eden. This is an incredibly beautiful place, and very, so I just loved it at first sight, and then it's just grown.
Kay says he looks forward to tackling future issues, and he talks about the city banning e-cigarettes and reaching a deal to extend the agreement with Time Warner Cable. Also on Kentucky Newsmakers, the head of Kentucky Connect talks about open enrollment starting this weekend. To see the entire program, set your DVR or catch it Sunday morning at 6 on WKYT or Sunday morning at 10 on the CW Lexington. Republican lawmakers led by soon-to-be Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell continue to warn the president not to act alone on immigration reform. McConnell says the new Congress needs to take up the issue next year, but the president appears poised to sign an executive order that would give what many consider to be amnesty to illegal immigrants. Governor Steve Beshear is making a 5-day economic development trip to Japan. The governor says he is going to renew some contacts and make new ones. More than 160 Japanese-owned plants employ more than 40,000 people in Kentucky. About 200 authors will be in Frankfort tomorrow for the Kentucky Book Fair that runs 9 to 4:30 at the Convention Center. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Same-sex couples seeking the right to marry are asking the Supreme Court to settle the issue of gay marriage nationwide.
Appeals filed today asked the justices to review last week's lower court ruling that upheld anti-gay marriage laws in Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and Tennessee. That ruling was the first appellate ruling to side with states seeking to preserve gay marriage bans since the Supreme Court struck down part of a federal anti-gay marriage law last year.
Still some snowflakes showing up on Live First Alert Defender. That's how we're starting our weekend. We may end the weekend with a much greater threat for snow and accumulating snows at that. We'll break down who may get what in a moment.